Oh, wait. It's the only hair I have to comb. Welcome to another extra. In this one, we're going to talk about adding progress bars to elements. This is very powerful when it comes to visualizing progress. So any one of the stakeholders, particularly the project manager, can come in and look at working sets, and we have projects that have dozens in a particular view, and these elements can be anywhere in the project database brought into a common view where you're able to do Gantt charts and assign people and manage, and then through Kanban, being able to see things like progress if you wish to. So let's get started. So what are progress bars? Progress bars are graphical elements, shape scripts, if you will, that can be added to most elements. In this particular case, there's a tagged value. Let's just go ahead and open up properties and go to tags. There is a tagged value that is available in this element. In this case, it's called a progress. It is a tagged value property with a value from 0 to 100. So if I was to come in here and put, well, I believe we are 50% complete with this particular element. I would put in 50, not percent, just 50, and it would show up in the progress bar. Each one of these, let's go ahead and open up this object one, has the tagged value. We'll go to tag values. It has the tag value, a progress, and it has a value of 0. But it's not showing up in this element. In order to get it to show up, there's a couple of ways you can do it. We can go to the diagram properties, we can go to elements, and we can simply expose tags in the element. And each one of these that is allowed to have a progress bar shows up. Now, there are quite a few ways to introduce progress bars, or the notion of progress bars, on elements. The first, we're just going to show the easiest ways, and that's using tag values, and we'll create a progress bar on an element demoing that. The other way is using Gantt and Kanban. So if we were to go to this Kanban, these are not using the A process in my case, because I created a tag value called A progress. They're using Gantt. So if we switch views to Gantt, you can basically set the progress here. This one's 90% done, reporting is 66% done, or 2/3, and so on. And let's go back to the regular. In a Kanban, if you switch the element, we're going to go to appearance and enable info view. I'm going to turn info view off. This is what the element would look like, regardless of the element. The element, in this case, let's go to progress. The element here is a working set. This element is an issue. There are this is a use case shown by these icons up here. But when we switch the appearance to enable info view, the Gantt progress will show up here, who's assigned and how much they've completed. We'll get back to this in a moment. Other more complicated approaches, or very manual approaches, is using shape scripts. So you can go up and create a shape script called progress, and you can manually put in, here's a sample of a shape script that you can use to create a progress on the element in different ways, depending on what you want to do. But this gets into programming shape scripts. We talked about shape scripts and stereotypes in another session. Another way is to use notes, and this is crazy, but I've seen it done before, and that's renaming the element to something like feature A, and then literally putting 70% with some lines in the notes field to, or even at the name, to show what the progress is on the element. Now let's demonstrate creating a progress bar. So I'm in a blank diagram. I have a package called demo progress bar, And let's bring in a class element. We're going to leave the name class 1 here. Let me bring out the properties window and set it next to this element. And we're going to go to tags. There are no tags. We're going to create a tag called a progress, and I'm already using progress, so I want to create a alpha progress. And because it already has a tag value defined as a progress, it populated the value of 0 automatically. Let's add another progress in here, and we're going to call this B progress. And often I will create multiple progresses depending on what I'm trying to define in progress. And you'll notice that there is no value here. So what I'm going to do is go to settings. I'm going to go to UML types. I'm going to go to tag values. And here is the tag value that I defined for progress bar value. So the default is set to 0, and then I give it a definition, and you learned about tag values in a previous video. Let's go ahead and put some values in here. We are going to put 50, 50, not 59 in this one, and we're going to put 25 in this one. And then, yeah, let's reload the diagram. Let's see here. Let me save it first, then reload the diagram. And the progress bar is not showing up. The reason for this, let's select the element. Let's go back here and let's go to notes. You must add a note. Type equals progress bar, no space, close with a semicolon. Let's go ahead and hit OK. There we go. Let's reload the diagram. It's still not showing. Why is that? Well, there's a couple of reasons for that. We're not showing tags. So you can do two things. One, you can do it at the individual element level. Down here, you see compartment visibility. Let's show tags and then hit OK. There we go. Progress B doesn't have type equals progress bar. Progress A does. And so it shows. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go select the element, go to tags, go to B progress, go to notes, and type in type equals progress bar. No space, close with a semicolon in this, because this is a script that's generating a shape script. And there you go. Now you see both of them. Let's go ahead and turn off. We're going to right click. Compartment visibility for tags. We're going to unclick this and now they're gone. So the other way is to go to the diagram properties, go to elements, turn on tags. And there we go. Now we're going to see, let's go ahead and copy this one. We're going to see the tagged values in every element. So we're going to copy this one, Control-Shift-V to paste elements as new. And let's give this a different name, 2, and let's come into B and take out notes. We'll take this out right here. And now it just goes to the bare tag on that. Now you can do this on any type, almost any type element. As I showed here, there's some elements that don't have the ability. Like this boundary is an object. This is an object. This one is stereotyped as a boundary. And so it has a shape script that overwrites the other shape script if we were be using shape script. Same with process. Same with use cases, actions and activity diagrams, the activity themselves, and there are more. The primary shapes that I use, or I should say element types, are working sets and class elements. State elements are interesting. This gets into a more advanced subject where you can actually, through scripting, automate the progress of a particular state in real time during simulation. Package is a good one. You're working on a package and You want to show how you're progressing in that namespace, that package, that folder with the elements, models, and things that are taking place in that namespace. This becomes an interesting feature. Document, when you're creating or writing a document, having a progress bar is valuable. Execution environment, same thing. You're getting into, well, where are we in the deployment of a node or an execution environment or a component or an interface in a delivery lifecycle or a use? So that's going to cover how you can create progress bars on elements of any type. If we were to go into this, go to design, go to elements, go to manage, change type. Let's change this type from class. Let's change it to interface and see what happens. There we go. It disappeared. It's not showing on the interface. Yet we have if we go to tag values, we have them defined here. Let's reload the diagram, and there we go. So just refresh your model and those will show up. And I could go on and on the other type elements, but that's how you create a progress bar at the element level. Now let's automate this. I mean, you're going to get a lot of elements that you want to add progress bars to at any time that you want. And let's bring in a class element right here. It's going to be class 2. Let's bring our properties window out and have it on tags. So there's no tags in here right now. I created a script for adding progress bars. So this is it if you want to copy it and use it. So basically, this should be add progress bar, not process tags. And you see here that we've got to declare some elements, and then we're going to go ahead and select the element that we're going to work on, and we have it selected. It's basically seeing that we have it selected, and then it's going to set a new tag, and then here's where you name the tag that you want to add, and you could certainly repeat this for other tags. Then we need to add the notes, otherwise it's not going to work. Type equals progress bar, and then we're going to update the tag. So let's put this into action. Let's go close our script. No, I should have saved it. I changed something. So what we're going to do is select the item over in the browser because that's the type of automation that I've set up. We're going to right click on this, specialize, script, add progress bar. And then if we look at it now, do a refresh, I just selected outside of it, then on it. You can see the new tag's been added. We can put a number in here. I'm going to put 33% on this one. And we can see the A progress tag that was just added because in the diagram elements, we have tags turned on. If you just want to do it at the individual level, you turn that off, and then you go to compartment visibility and you turn on tags here. Let's now show how this can be done using Gantt and Kanban. So the Gantt view, let me go back to my favorite workspace layout. And what we're going to do is I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here, save this. And we're going to go into Gantt view. So you all learned how to do this. Switch view to Gantt. So we have our 3 elements because the Gantt view is on the diagram. Doesn't matter where the elements are. These elements could be anywhere within your project. They're going to show up here because we're in this view. What I'm going to do is for class 1, we're going to assign a resource. And let's go ahead and assign me. And then I'm just going to pick, no, I don't want to be security architect. That's Sarah. I want to be the chief architect, security solution architect. Could be any role, but the role responsible for managing the element. We could put a lot of description in here and history over the progress of the element. Not going to do that in this demonstration. we are going to leave the start date and the end date today. And we're not going to put a progress in there. We're going to leave it at 0. Let's say that I'm planning 5 hours and I'm going to allocate 8 hours, 8 person hours for this, and then hit OK. So now you can see UML operator has been assigned to this and hasn't done anything on it yet. Let's revert back to our diagram for class 1. That's what our focus is. You don't see any changes that are here. Let's go to one of our favorite Kanbans here for stakeholders. Ready for release, staging, production, and done. So we're talking about class 1. Let's drag this in here anywhere as a link. And now it is set in here. If we double click on it and look at it, now it's bound to a phase. Staging. I move it back, ready for release. Let's put it back in staging right here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to right click on it, and we're going to change this view appearance to enable info view. And here we go. We can see UML operator, and nothing's been done on it. It's in staging. So what we're going to do now is go back to our model. Let's go into, see here, into Gantt View. Yes, save. Thank you very much. And let's open it up. And then let's say that I'm saying I can do it here or I can do it down here, either place. I am 90% done with this. I'll change it to 100% in just a moment. All right, we're going to go back. We're going to reload. No changes. Let's go to stakeholders. Now you can see it's been updated because it's an info view in the Kanban based on its Gantt. And I can right click in here, switch views. Yes, thank you, save it. Because I'm in the diagram, I only see the one element that's in the Kanban, 90% done. Let's revert back to our Kanban. And we were talking about class 1. We see class 1, it has the tag values without having to go to enable info view in here. And you've all learned about changing things to enable info view and get into properties to show more, but that's all we're going to talk about here. So now we're going to change this to 100% done. And I can do this in any Gantt view. So switch to Gantt view. Let's go to the assigned resource. Let's go ahead and open up the property window here and change this to 100% complete. So now this is complete, and we're going to go back to the Kanban view and refresh, reload the diagram. The progress bar on items that are 100% don't show up. I go to our demoing it. These will continue to show up. Let's go ahead and go to properties. Let me go to properties, bring that back out here. And let's change this to 100%. And this one, I'm going to leave at 25%. So you can see here that 100% disappears because it's done and we're not going to see it. All right, we're going to wrap up here. I could talk for hours on this subject as well. So we learned how to create progress bars on various elements that you're working on in your project delivery. We learned how to create and show progress from resource assignments in Gantt views, and then those show up in our Kanban and so much more. We learned how to automate where you can. Keep it simple. It's very easy. You can create any tag value, progress, hour progression. Get carried away with your tag values if you want to. Just know that the value needs to be 0 to 100, and you have to have within those notes type equals progress bar. Otherwise, they're not going to show up or work. So once you know those very basics, You're ready to go on adding progress bars. You know how to show them, how to hide them. I think I covered everything. So until that next episode, happy modeling. All right, now we can start talking about progress bars in our episodes. Pretty exciting, right?